guys, Mackay here with Ironside Ranch. Today we're going to talk a little bit about how to build a fire in your wood stove and kind of general principles with it. At its most simplest form, your wood stove is steel with its fire brick on the inside. Now, in lighting that wood stove and in getting this up and running, a couple things we have to consider is that the brick and everything around this is cold, and so we really have to get that up to temperature, and we've got to get the firebox up to temperature. Now, one of the things that people talk about when lighting a wood stove is having everything empty, lighting out and getting a bunch of coals going, and then starting your fire basically from there. And I found that method obviously works, but the method that I found that actually seems to work the best, and this varies a little bit with the stove that you use, but what we end up doing is we set our hardwoods over on the side like this, and those hardwoods, and with this nice softwood down on the bottom to get that bed of coals going. And with those hardwoods stacked on the side, what that does is it actually decreases the size of our firebox. And so this area here ends up being our firebox. So that's really the only area that we have to get nice coals going. So it saves us a little bit on kindling, and actually seems to get the fire going a lot quicker by building that nice bed of coals there. And then it keeps these burning longer. And then once that bed of coals is going and this hardwood starts to burn a little bit, we'll come in there and we'll put some hardwood right on top and let that get going. And that'll get it nice and hot. Now, a couple things that happen when this wood stove is lit is, for one, the cold air from outside is trying to come down that chimney, and then the warm air here is trying to draft up the chimney, and so that creates our suction or our vacuum in that chimney pipe. And then when that happens, we're trying to suck air in through the doorway. So that's why we want to control that airflow, and that's why we're going to close this as we're getting that going, and we're going to let it just take that air from the edges here, not close it all the way, and it's going to let that draft get nice and strong. It's going to get us a good vacuum going up and out the chimney. While we're doing that, we're going to leave our flue valve all the way open to allow the maximum draft and the maximum air coming in. Once we get this going, we can make our adjustments based off of the temperature that we want our stove from there. But for starting purposes, we're going to get this all the way open. So let's go ahead and light this and see what this looks like. That the kindling that we have, which we found as the paramount point to actually creating a good fire really quickly, is having good quality kindling. The kindling that we use is fat wood, so it lights up very easily, and I showed you that with the match how easy that was. I was able to get several of those pieces going with just holding that match up to it, and they'll burn and get this nice roaring fire going. The paper that we had in here is actually a construction paper left over from my daughter's class. So from that, it was not the best paper, and we've actually had problems with that burning, but I wanted to use it up. So ideally, what we found tends to work the best is the junk paper that we get in the mail, that we all get in the mail. Now, what we're going to do is, after this gets going, this fat wood, or this hardwood here, is going to get lit up real well. First thing, come here, we're going to put a couple new logs up on top. We're going to leave that nice little airspace going there. We've got this these pine wood right next to it. Those are filled with a lot of pitch. We have lots of nice bark on there, lots of nice dry bark, and those two pieces of pine are going to get lit up really, really well, and they're going to allow these hardwoods over here on top of them to get up and get them up to temperature real good and get a nice bed of coals there going. So like I said, we're going to come over, probably put two pieces of some softwood right up here. That softwood's real nice for getting the fires going. It seems to light up a little bit quicker, and it allows us to get a nice cold bed going. And then we come in with the hardwoods over the top of that. So don't forego the softwoods just because you think softwoods are bad. They do have their point and purpose, and in lighting a fire, they do a really good job. So what we're going to do next is we'll come in, like I said, put those on there. But for the time being right now, what we're going to do is we're going to get this closed, get a nice draft going in there. We can see we got no smoke rolling back out towards us. We've got that pulling a really nice draft, and I know on the screen here it's just very bright, but that flame is pulling really, really good. We're getting a nice draft, lots of airflow. You can feel the airflow here with my hand about it sucking in. And so it's creating a good suction there, getting us a good hot fire. So we'll put those logs in, and then we'll be pretty good to go. We'll adjust our damper from there to get the temperature where we want it. But other than that, that's about it. The wood stove is a very simple piece of machinery and how it works and how it functions, you do have to understand a little bit of the details behind it. Getting it up to temperature is one of the things that we tend to neglect to do, and that's really what we want, because before it's going to get a nice fire going in this firebox, we got to get the whole exterior of the wood stove up to a good operating temperature, and that takes time with that brick on the inside.